Hey guys, welcome to Alina's Tarot. This video is for Aquarius regarding their love for the month of January 2016. Happy New Year's, guys. Hopefully you guys ended the year in a good note and live life to the fullest. That's my one goal. This video is for Aquarius regarding their love. So I am going to be starting to use a different deck for this year. I know that I mentioned it in the last video for December that I was going to try to use a different deck starting the new year. Reason being just to change things up. The deck that I'm going to be using is going to be the Morgan Greed Tarot deck. So it'd be this deck right here. If you guys are interested in buying it, you can please do so. So yeah, I think I paid about 25 bucks for this deck. So this is the deck. As you can see, it's a lot more color than it would be with the normal deck that I use. I'm currently using this as well to cleanse my cards, because every time you do a reading you're supposed to always cleanse your cards. People do it with the light, which is why I always have a candle on. It just gives me clarity as far as the light goes, but this is like something that I used. I got this for Christmas, so this is pretty cool. So I started using that today as I'm recording the video. I have incense going. It just kind of cleansed the air and cleansed my cards for my reading. So overall, I feel like the month of January, there's going to be a lot of Aquariuses that are going to want to make things permanent as far as like relationships goes, as far as like starting a new relationship or moving out with a person. I feel like a lot of the Aquariuses for the month of January want to make things official. Their focus is being happy, being married. So for those of you who are not married, are interested in getting married, and you want to make sure that you make it known that this is the person that you want to be with for the rest of your life. And some of you guys feel that way. And then I have the other half of the Aquarians that are kind of just winging it, if that makes any sense. I feel like myself, I would be in that category. I'm kind of just going with the flow and kind of have that attitude, like whatever happens, happens. And I feel like a lot of the Aquarius is for the month of January. You guys are going to start off that month like that. Maybe you might feel that way, like, you know, hey, I'm not really looking for something serious at the moment, but I mean, whatever happens, happens. That's exactly what I always say all the time. All my friends and family will be like, you know, don't you think it's time for you to get married or, you know, find somebody serious and stuff like that. I'm basically just, you know, taking it for what it is and just day by day. I'm not in a rush, nor am I looking to get married anytime soon. But for those of you who are focused on being married and forming a relationship and making sure it's known that you're in love with that person and, you know, really binding yourself with someone, I am happy for you guys. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. We are all happy. To start off the reading, I want to say for some of you Aquariuses, some of you guys need to take time out to figure out what you want. I feel like for the month of January, a lot of you, like I was saying before, a lot of you guys just need to do some soul searching, figure out what you want, figure out what your next step is. I feel like, you know, regardless of people judging you, I feel like for some of you guys, as far as like your sexuality goes, you're kind of like you're not sure where to go. And I feel like for the most part, some of you guys are kind of scared because you feel like you're going to get judged about it. But the reality of it is you need to figure out what you want. Do some soul searching, figure out what it is that you are looking for, what you need. Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, what anybody else says. It's as long as you're happy, that's truly what matters. So I feel like there will be a new opportunity sometime during, I want to say spring, January through April. I feel like you'll have a new opportunity of some kind. Again, this reading is for love, and I feel like maybe you'll get some type of opportunity as far as love goes. This card is at the ending of the deck. Make assessments. I feel like Aquarius's main important thing for you for January is make assessments. Make assessments, figure out what you want. Delete all the unnecessary people in your life, the people that help you make you and help you improve yourself, your emotionally, physically, mentally. Those are the people that you want to keep around. As far as like people that don't do any good for you, you don't need them in your life. This card too, as I'm holding it, I kind of feel like for those of you who are in relationships that are dealing with people that are codependent on you, you need to make assessments, because that is not a person that you want to stay the rest of your life with. And you know this. I know this. You don't need me to tell you this. You know it. Make assessments. Make sure that before you make that leap with that person that you think you're in love with, make sure you make assessments, because this is a card that drawn to me when I shuffled them. I kind of feel like, you know, as far as money goes, like for those of you who are moving out, I can't stress that enough. Make sure that you make your assessments and go with what you know that's right. Don't go with what you want, because sometimes what we want isn't exactly what we need. So make sure you make assessments. January is about making assessments. Anything in general. So the card behind that is the Wheel of Fortune. Overall, you'll be successful in whatever it is that you want. If it's love, if it's, you know, to get married, or if it's to be a good union, you'll be successful in whatever. You have the Wheel of Fortune. You are fortunate to receive what you give out. So if it's love that you're looking for and you're genuine about it, you can receive that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Remember, you get what you give. So for those of you, I feel like for some of you guys, some of the Aquariuses are contemplating things right now. I kind of feel like some of you guys for the month of January might be laying in bed kind of contemplating what's going on. I feel like there was a battle and you could have been on either end. You could have won the battle or you could have lost the battle. And I feel like because of that, it kind of left you like you feel hurt, sad, depressed, not really sure what exactly is going on. I kind of feel like you need some time alone to really figure out it is what you want. Again, like the beginning of the reading, it did say to make assessments. It did say to, you know, don't isolate yourself, but figure out what you want to do. It could have been, now, we are all born on the same element as far as January and February go, but we are all born on a different day and a different timing. So just because we're an Aquarius doesn't necessarily mean that we all are the same or we all act the same. So, in other words, I feel like there is part of the Aquariuses that can be the person, you know, betraying other people. I'm not saying every Aquarius is like that, but there are some Aquariuses that can, you know, mingle out of a relationship. And I feel like this card right here, the Hangman, this signifies, remember that what you do comes back to you. You know, don't do things without really thinking about your consequences, because I feel like a lot of you guys will do things without even thinking about it, and then once you've done it, then you're gonna be like, man, you know, I should have never did that, or I should have never took that step, or whatnot. So pay attention, because I feel like, you know, sometimes we make mistakes and they're not exactly what we want. You know, don't leap too quick. For some of you Aquariuses, I feel like some of the Aquariuses are going to be dealing with a Knight of Rods. So Knight of Rods is a fire sign. It can either be a Sagittarius, it can be a Leo, and it can also signify an Aries. Those are the signs that it can signify. I feel like some of you guys are going to be involved with that other sign. It doesn't necessarily mean that has to be the sign, but you can be involved with somebody like that. This Knight is an adventure. They're looking for a good time. They're looking for a good fun. I feel like maybe somebody from the past is going to come back and you're going to call it truce, kind of like make up, you know, make up, say sorry, whatever happened with you guys in the past. It's the past. And you guys are going to make the reconciliation. I feel like reconciliation. This right here is also like this right here also signifies the new. a good start, good communications, a renewance of something. So I feel like that person, maybe it won't happen in the beginning of the month. I don't feel like it will happen in the beginning of the month. I feel like it happens sometime mid-month. By the ending of the month, I feel like you're gonna see somebody that you've dealt with, or talk to somebody that you've dealt with, and you're gonna make truce. You're gonna reconcile with that person. So it's gonna be a new thing, a new inspiration, something new from you for the month of January. Another thing too, this card right here is the Two of Cups. If you look at the picture closely, the guy and the girl are holding two cups, which that signifies emotions. So I feel like there might be somebody in particular that you need to discuss your feelings with. I feel like you need to clarify some things. This person that's coming from out of town, this person, I feel like they could come out of town because you haven't seen them in a while, but not necessarily. It could be, I can feel that way too because you haven't talked to them. So it could be like somebody you've dealt with in the past. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's somebody that you've dated. It can be somebody like a friend or something that you haven't seen in a while, that you're going to like reconcile with them and say, hey, you know what? There's a lot of unresolved issues between you and that person. So I kind of feel like you might have to talk about some of the things that happened in the past so that you can move forward with that person. So if you see this, you have the star right next to it. You have to make a new communication is like the most important thing. This card right here signifies Aquarius, so we are doing the month of January regarding Aquarius is for their love. So this is funny, it actually came out, the star signifies Aquarians. If you look at that, it's actually the sign of the water. See how the water is flowing out into the floor. You know, a lot of the people don't really get into astrology that much, but if you really look at her sign, you see how she is throwing water. One water's going this way, another water's going into this little pond. And I feel like for some of us Aquariuses, that's how we tend to be. A lot of us don't like to be tied down, and then we have the other half that is willingly to be tied down. And it's kind of crazy because a lot of us like to be free. Ooh, sorry guys, it's funny that fell. A lot of us want to be free, and some of us just wander. Like, we're wanderers. I feel like we can wander a lot. We tend to wander a lot. I'm one of those. I'm one of those Aquariuses that wander. I can, you can catch my attention for a minute or two, and then, I don't know, I guess somebody will walk by, and then that person will catch my attention. I know, it's not good, but, we gotta live life to the fullest. Anyways, a lot of us can be held down, okay? So for those of you who are going to reconcile with somebody, make sure you air it out. Make sure you get to know them. Make sure that whatever you need to discuss, whatever tension is between you guys, make sure you clarify it, because it's needed to move forward. If you want it, you need to have that discussion to move forward. So here are two cards that I randomly took out of the deck. I just felt like I wanted to take it out, so I took the cards out. So we have the Seven of Cups, and then we also have the Sun. So the Seven of Cups, you guys had to have seen it in my other videos. This signifies energy scattered. So for some of you Aquariuses, you guys have a lot of options as far as like people to date. I feel like a lot of you guys have a lot of options to date. So a lot of the Aquariuses right now for the month of January are not going to be focused on just one person. You got the ones that are ready to get married, ready to be in love. Here's the portion that their energy is scattered. You have a lot of options. So you don't want to stay stuck on just one person. I feel like some of you guys even say to yourself like, hey, you know what? I have a lot of options. There's no need for me to be stuck on one person. For those of you, A lot of the Aquariuses can have illusions. I feel like this also signifies illusions, like illusions that you might make in your head or some sort, or you might have this picture of, you know, you want to talk to everybody and not compromise for nobody. But it doesn't really work that way, you know. So usually when they say, when you find somebody that you really like, that's when all this illusion will shatter. I feel like, I know I mentioned when this card comes out, I feel like you have a lot of options, but I feel like the only really way we're going to really find someone that we are going to invest our time in is if we find somebody that we really like. And that goes for everybody, not just the element, not just Aquarius or anything like that. You really have to find someone that you like, that you really want to say, hey, I'm not going to talk to a bunch of people for them. So you can't force anybody to stop talking to people. They have to willingly do so. Energies are scattered. My Aquarius is, you guys gotta stop playing around. You want something serious, but you're not willing to compromise. Sounds like me. No. The Sun. So you have the ability to be successful. If you see, this is a girl, this is a guy. As far as a union goes, people that are, some of the Aquariuses that are in a relationship, you have the ability to be successful. So if you are in a union right now, everything feels like it's shining, the sun is shining, and everything is going perfect. That's also a good card. So you have everything in your favor. So if love is what you're going for and love is how you feel, everything is in your favor. So overall, for Aquariuses, for my single Aquariuses, you guys, energy is scattered, emotion is scattered. You're really not sure what you want to do. You basically just need time alone to figure out what it is that you want, make assessments in your life, figure out what you want to do. As far as the Aquariuses, make sure that you remember that whatever you do to somebody always comes back to you. So don't ever feel like you won the battle. I feel like that battle that I was talking about earlier, you could have been the one that won or you could have been the one that lost. You could have been on both ends. But at the same time, I feel like don't watch somebody do something to somebody, because it's going to help you. You're gonna have benefit out of it, because if that's the case, whatever you do comes back to you. So hopefully you were not in that end, and you were in the end where you were the one confronting people or betraying people to bring yourself happiness. So hopefully you weren't in that. Don't contemplate too much, because if you look at it, you have the Four of Swords, you have the Hermit, you also have the Hangman. So I feel like another message to you for the month of January is figure out what you want. Don't contemplate stuff too much, because I feel like you're contemplating deep in your mind and you just lay in bed and kind of like think about what you want to do next or what's going to happen next, or trying to basically figure it out. For those of you Aquariuses, I feel like for the month of January, a lot of you guys are going to want to go back to school and learn something new, or learn a new trade, or get a new job. What is another message that I want to say to you guys? For those of you who are in a loving relationship, watch that eye. Because even if you are in a loving relationship and you're ready to get married and you're in love and this and this and that, you still wonder. You still wonder about what if you would date that person, or what if you would date that person? What would you do if you had a chance with the other person? If you ever catch yourself thinking that, technically it wouldn't be the right time to fall in love or get married. I'm just saying, other ways. But overall, I feel like it's a good month for the month of January, a good start for the month. I feel like a lot of you guys, reality of it is, it's the first year out of the month, the first month out of the year, and life is going to be about assessing and figuring out what you want as far as love goes. Don't be in a rush to jump into a relationship. There's a lot of options, Aquarius, so you never know. You might go to the gas station and, meet the guy of your dreams or the girl of your dreams. You never know. But I do private readings. I've